Hello, and welcome to Streaming Rainbow, a place where we tell stories together. Stories are some of the most powerful things in a human world, and as such, we try to tell stories that matter with people we care about. This is Halley's Children Challenger, the fourth chapter in our continuing story about empowered people and their challenges as they move through history. Our story takes place around the year 1986, though we'll be starting off in mid to late 1985, in a world rather like our own, but shaped by the actions of our protagonists in the preceding centuries. This chapter of our story is heavily influenced by spy films, so expect intrigue and daring secret agents. I am Serafina Smith, and I'll be the game master for this game. With me are my amazing players. Cam is playing Anoush, who, when last we left off, had been kidnapped by the sinister forces of the Arm of St. George. Courtney is playing Yelena, who is working as a doctor for NASA in Cape Canaveral. David is playing Halfthor, who runs the frickin' CIA. And Eli is playing a previously unknown empowered person who will be introduced soon. As per usual, content warnings can be found in the video description. We hope you'll look them over as we want your experience to be the very best it can be. If you aren't caught up on Halley's Children, just pause the video here and watch previously on so that I can fill you in on what's come before, and then come back here and we'll get started. Ready? Good. All right. Now settle in, make yourselves comfortable, and let's begin the story. Anoush. You've been kept unconscious through the use of drugs for, well, you don't know how long, but it's an awfully long time. A steady beeping permeates your dreams. The last thing you remember is Philomore's eyes. What right now is Anoush dreaming about?
Oh, that's so fucked. I don't know if Anoush has had a dream for a long time. But I think the dream is like colors and sounds at first that like weave their way into like a really old laboratory in like Anoush is young and watching like some old Persian man write something on a scroll, mix like some sort of concoction of oils and herbs, and he's just fascinated. I don't think you can see this man's face. It's very like dream blurred, but it's very sensory. The sounds are louder. The smells are brighter. He can like feel things more. It is like just almost to the point of overload, I think.
Anoush, today something happens that's different as you come from out of your dream. The nurse in charge of you forgets to add your morning dose of haloperidol, and you drift towards consciousness. The rhythmic beeping gets louder. You start to hear a quiet sound that you eventually recognize as a voice. Your eyes open just a crack, too much light and swaths of medical white and blue. Someone is leaning over you, and their words begin to resolve into something you can parse. I hope you can hear me. I can't stay for long. Don't bother trying to escape. There's guards everywhere. But the next time you wake up, You'll need to be ready. Your legs will be very weak, so you'll need to strengthen them. And they've got you kind of opened up, so you'll have to heal your torso up fast or you'll be dropping organs as you go. My student, I cannot stay. They will be back any moment. But tell me, you are a man of science, reason, invention, exploration, yes? Yet you
What?
still believe in ghosts. And then an alarm begins to go off, and someone runs to your bedside, and you drift back into the soft confusion of medical sedation. We move from this mysterious hospital room to a building in Miami. By night, this building is festooned with neon colors to donate it as Liberalia, one of the hottest nightclubs in the city. By day, it's just a plain old kind of rundown building in front of a strip mall. As we watch, a young man on a Vespa pulls up to the side door. He takes off his helmet and goggles to reveal an unruly mop of hair and a smiling, amiable face. He takes a couple of boxes and heads inside. This is Hermes, once worshipped by the Greeks as a god, and now working as a bartender and general gopher in a Miami club. He begins unloading bottles from the boxes in the cabinets behind the bar. Dio! I got the tequila! Had to go to 3 places, man. Why are you so picky? Once they get a couple of drinks into them, they don't care how it tastes anyway. Eli, tell us about your character.
Um, Dio. That's what he's. It's not what he goes by now, but that's what all of his friends call him. Mostly just Hermes. Just honestly, just Hermes. Everyone else calls him Theo. Close enough. Um, what you guys see is the somebody dressed in the height of Miami Beach fashion. He's short. We've got a short king, guys, and his olive skin and his very clean cut beard, but very full beard with a curly. I think the term right now would be the MacGyver cut. Definitely the mullet look, but with dark, thick, curly hair. He wears a gold chain around his neck that looks like a normal gold chain, but on closer look, it's actually looks like golden grapevines uh, twisting around his neck. And we all see Dionysus, to which he says, "Listen, I don't care about anything. We are going to give the best in this club. All right? We're fine. I don't know why you're like, why are you pay? I'll go next time. You're just fast about it.
I'm fast about everything, bro.
That's unfortunate for every single one of your partners. Seriously. Uh, but with all due respect, you're my big brother, and I feel bad for saying that. I don't. You gotta be better about this. Anyway. Um, okay, we got the tequila. Did you hear anything from Hurrit?
Well, no, I haven't heard from him in almost a month. And as if summoned, the phone at the back of the bar rings, piercing the silence. One of the things Hermes very specifically never does is answer the phone. But when you pick it up, Hurrit speaks immediately. Dionysus, I'm glad to
Oh,
catch you.
yeah, yeah. All right. Hello. We were actually
Listen,
just
listen.
talking about you. Okay,
That's good. Listen, there's a man coming tonight to make a drug deal.
great.
He works in medical supplies, and we think he might be connected with whichever hospital one of us is being held in. I got enough of a read the other morning to know that he's in North America somewhere near the East Coast, so that limits the possibilities where he can be. And if anyone would know of a secretive medical facility on the East Coast, it's this guy. I don't have a telepath near you. Do you think you can get information out of him?
Yeah, I got you. We're good.
Thanks, Dio. This is vital. This is our first lead in months, and it might lead us getting Anoush back and finding out more about the armor of St. George.
I'll figure out what I can. Is there anything else I can do for you?
This is the most important thing right now.
Also, you haven't told Gilgamesh that. Please tell me he doesn't know about my connection yet.
I have not talked to Gilgamesh in months.
Good. All right. I will get back to you as soon as I make the connection.
Understood. All right. Yeah.
All right. Drug deal time. Excellent.
Nice. Your bar opens up for the night. Anything special you're doing?
Um, no, I think very, very specifically, Dio is being as normal as possible. He always make sure that he is seen. This is a newer arm of his the empire that is his family's vineyards, and so he wants to be known that he is really hands-on and present. So in a much more put together, sleeker night outfit, he's going around saying hi, kind of getting a feel for the vibes and keeping an eye open for a potential somebody who potentially might need some of his other skills and other wares that might not be out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. So, you begin your trade for the night, and what I'd like you to do is give me a notice roll, our first roll for the game,
all
to
right,
see
guys.
what you notice in the bar.
Man. Oh, that is a perfectly worthless roll. I would like to go ahead and burn a fate point
All right.
to use my high concept as ultimate party guy and add 2. So that gets me a superb.
Absolutely superb. Okay. Uh, you notice him right when he arrives. That this is the guy. He's just, just on the edge of shady, which is exactly how you expect him to be. And he's clearly there for a meeting. He chooses exactly the right spot to be noticed when you walk in, but where he can't have his back to anyone. Uh, do you want to wait for his contact to arrive, or do you want to approach him, or do something else?
Mm. I'm going to wait for his contact to arrive, but I'm also going to uh, kind of, as I tend to do, I like to listen, I hire for very specific, I hire the best people. So
Mhm.
I definitely kind of put a bug in the ear of the really adorable waitress that is going to be going to their table. And listen, maybe a couple of the drag queens just being like, hey, keep an
Mhm.
eye, like special VIP. So the VIP is the secret code for get the dirt. So I send my little spies out in the form of very attractive and friendly people to make them feel welcome.
Okay, that's one. You know what? That's a context roll.
Contacts. Okay, guys. This is okay. I can't. These rolled literally 2 pluses, 2 minuses. I'm not using those dice again for a second. They need a break
Fair enough.
already. All right. That is a great.
All right. Okay. So your minions, Candy and Ginger and Spice.
Yep.
Candy, Ginger, and Spice. They all descend in their own ways upon your prey to learn about him. And they come back and they report to you, that he is trying to brush them off because he's waiting for someone, but he is very shady. It's obviously a drug deal. Like, he is the dealer in the situation, and he is thinking about dealing to them, but he hasn't made that offer yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if he's the drug dealer, yeah, Dio's going to again be milling through, glad handing, saying hi, doing his stuff, but absolutely always keeping an eye on this table because I want to know who he's contacting. I want to know who that is.
All right. In approximately 10 minutes after you start to monitor this guy, another fellow comes in. This guy is he looks not too dissimilar to yourself. He's the sort of small and curly beardy guy, a lot of chest hair that's poking out of the um, cracks in his buttons.
Mm-hmm.
He looks much shadier than the other guy. And he comes in and he looks around, and like everyone in the bar who understands what is going on is disappointed at this guy, is what I'm saying.
Got it. Got it.
Because he's just too bad at it. But he's coming in, and he goes to the table and they start talking.
Okay. Do I see anything exchange hands, or are they just talking?
We'll go with your notice roll from earlier. Yes, you see the exchange of a couple of bottles for a sum of cash.
Okay. After that happens, I am going to walk up. I'm going to grab a very expensive bottle of something.
Mm-hmm.
Really, just anything. It's mostly the name. It's like that's
Right.
what's more important. And I'm gonna walk up and go, friends, welcome to Liberalia. It's so good to see you. Listen, I am Theo. I am the owner of this place, and I would like to buy both of you a drink. And he puts the bottle down. Um, and I would like to use my power to just loosen these guys up a little bit. And this is just for David. Hey, this power is called gaslighting. So so yeah, just putting on the charm, being like, welcome, 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 already pouring shots for them. So let's yeah, hold on.
You froze.
Yeah. My internet's been great for so long, and then as soon as I start recording, it's great. Okay. So yeah, he's putting on the charm, already pouring shots for these guys, just like cheers, cheers, cheers. So let's see if all right. So that is with this power, with a rapport roll of great, I am able to affect someone else's emotions within my zone, but I also must feel these emotions.
Right.
So my emotion that I'm trying to have these guys feel is so loose and so like happy to be here and just like, yeah, I did a good job. The job is done. Like, we did the deal. Let's celebrate. And hey, look at this awesome guy with this great alcohol. So just like really pouring in that like we're all best friends now. So as I'm pouring drinks, there you go. Sits
That
Wow.
meeting, two drunk girls meeting in the bathroom at a bar energy.
100%.
We're best
Absolutely.
friends now, and we're gonna take a trip to Tulum, and it's gonna be incredible. And you're never gonna think about Chad again.
And you're gonna be in my wedding. I'm not with anybody right now, but it's gonna happen.
You're
Yes.
gonna
You're
be
my
my you're not gonna be my maid of honor because that's gonna be my best friend forever. But you're my second best friend, so you'll be in the party. Okay.
you're my other maid of honor. I'm only having maids of honor.
Oh my God, we're gonna revolutionize weddings. It's gonna be two maids of honor.
Oh my god.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
we did it.
we did
Yeah,
it.
it's like
It's
that.
it's that vibe. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. By the end of this conversation, y'all are best friends, and he is trying to sell you drugs.
Honestly, Dio is fine buying drugs. Like, he's like, "Great, I'll buy drugs from you." He's like, he'll do it because he's like, I mean, I might as well see what else is out on the market if it's as good as my shit. But okay.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
and during this whole thing, he's gonna be like, "So what brings you guys to town? Like, hey, listen, you can trust. Like, what do you like? What's up? What?
right.
Yeah,
All right. So you procure some opiates, and you and they are clearly hospital grade stuff taken from the supplies of hospitals. So you get information from this fellow, and he never realizes for a moment that you are pumping him for information. He just thinks you're his bestie now, and he's going to be coming here for all of his deals.
hell yeah. Do I get? Can I get a bead on where where these drugs might be either taken from or being taken to?
Yep. You even get him to write down his suppliers, and he has several of them. So you get a lot of information from this man that you're going to be able to pass back to her.
Love it. Um, After it's all said and done, we're just shooting the shit. I leave the mostly empty bottle of alcohol because also that is on top of the good vibes, also just I'm leaving that. We're wasted. Hey, I gotta go do my job. Okay. You guys are amazing. This was the best. Hey, listen. I got you. I'll send over a couple of some other of my best girls to keep you guys company. You guys enjoy. Have a good night. And I come back. Absolutely come back. All right?
This
I
is
got you.
the best place ever. No problem. We're going to be here all the time.
Amazing predator handshake. Just let's go. And definitely continues to steps away, like sends a couple of little of cocktail girls around, and who are also again professionals at getting whatever the information they want because he's like,
Mhm.
they're so easy. Get your bag, go for it. Like he's like, get them girls. And then kind of shakes off the ooh, okay, all of that is put away, and he is just grinning from ear to ear and continues on with his night of just being the MC of the location. So yeah.
Beautiful. We pull back from that beautiful neon lit club, and we go to Yelena. You're in your Florida home one evening when there's a ring at your bell. When you go to check who's at the door, you're surprised to see Bast in her human form that only you and a few others know about.
Hi, darling. How are you? And she gives her a hug, brings her in.
She has a briefcase in one hand and a basket full of baked goods in the other. And she gives you that grin that people give when they want something from you and are trying not to be awkward around about it. And she says, "Hey, Yelena, I came bearing an assignment from Hurrit, but I also came bearing delicious snack cakes. So it's not all that bad?"
Come on in, my dear. It's all right.
She comes in and deposits the basket on the dining room table. She sits the briefcase next to it and opens it. And there's folders full of paperwork within. And she says, "We got information on the most likely places that Anoush might be held. We need your experience and your familiarity with the medical field to go through them and narrow it down a little bit more.
Yeah,
Ideally to
absolutely.
one."
Yeah,
Right
let's
now,
go
there's
through this.
there's 6 likely possibilities, and we'd probably rather try not to infiltrate them all. So,
Yeah. She's moving, like, she has files covering the kitchen table as well, and she's moving things to make space. Um, turns down Stevie Nicks that's been playing in the background and starts spreading the paperwork out in front of her and really dives into what she's looking at.
excellent. Bass is in the background, grooving to the music.
You know, you didn't need to bring baked goods. I want to find Anoush as much as everybody. This isn't a task that I'm burdened with, my dear.
She has a cake like halfway in her mouth, and she said, "Oh, that's okay. I don't mind."
Right. Yeah, so Yelena just starts flipping through the papers and looking at what's been provided to her.
All right. When you look through the folders, you find, as she said, documents about 6 different medical facilities near the East Coast. There are purchasing records, financial documents, generalized patient records, that sort of thing. Bass takes another brownie from the basket and sits down to nibble on it. And she says, "I may have to be human more often now." And she picks a crumb from her blouse. "It's near impossible to get around without driving nowadays. And also, I've discovered sweets. Why did you people never tell me how wonderful sweets are?"
You know, I don't know. I really, really don't.
I can't
For the
taste
record,
them.
Hafthor probably tried to feed that cat chocolate 100 million times, and Yelena stopped him.
Also, canon Bast never remembers the last time they ate.
It's true.
Fair.
So true. All right, so you spend some time really digging into the information brought to you. So go ahead and roll me either lore or investigation. Either could apply here.
I'm gonna go lore. I can invoke an aspect after the roll, correct?
You sure can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna invoke Witch Doctor. So that went down to a good, but it's gonna go back up to a superb.
Superb. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You eventually narrow down the possibilities then to the one most likely. It's small, private, and when you look over the purchases, there's some shady math going on to cover up the unusual amounts of sedative they've been buying regularly. It's part of a 4-story building in Charlotte, North Carolina. The name on the lease is Silene Bank and Trust, which is some sort of financial company based in Libya, apparently.
Bast, it looks like it's probably this one. They've got, really bad record keeping or, far more interest in financial gain than they are about their patients. It looks like they've got a lot of sedatives coming in and out, and just kind of based on their patient list, it doesn't really make sense that they'd be having all of that. They don't seem to be having much general surgery in comparison to what they have going on. So it's probably here in North Carolina. Small thing, but
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, no, of course. We need to get him back.
We have to.
Well, she reaches into the baked good basket. Thanks for bringing it. I want to be there when we get him.
All right. I'll make sure to tell her that. And he'll tell Hild that, and Hild will make things work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
Oh. And we'll pull back from there. Backing up, Hafthor, you're at your office in Virginia. It's been a busy day, but then again, there's a lot of busy days. Being head of the CIA in the 1980s is a demanding task. So, just as you think your day might be winding to a close, your phone rings. Not the one on your desk, the special phone that only a few people have the number for.
Linda, get off the line. Hello?
On the other end of the phone, you hear Hild's voice. And before anyone worries, Hild's power doesn't work over the phone. So phone calls with her are quite safe. And she says, Hafthor, I hope you're well. This line is secure on my end. I assume you've also taken precautions on yours.
Of course.
Here's
Okay,
the
help you,
deal.
Hild.
We need you in Charlotte. We found what we have good reason to believe is an Arm of St. George facility. We think they have Anoush there, and who knows what other information they have. I mean, that's kind of the point of calling. We need to know, and you're the one who can get us that information the quickest, as well as tell us whether we're barking up the wrong tree the quickest. How soon can you meet the team there?
Give me 36 hours.
All right. Thank you.
I hope you're well.
She hangs up.
He hangs up. And then I immediately gets a team together. I would assume he has some sort of like black site, non-officers, sort of mercenary people on the ready. And then I don't think that he would know anybody in the area. I guess he would call Yelena and ask if she wanted to come. But Hafthor's probably gonna lead the group himself. Still got a little bit of juice in those bones.
Okay. If it stops you from running headlong into firefight, I'll let you believe you are a doddering old man as much as you like. Yes, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, okay. And then I don't think he knows. He's like probably not really in contact with too many other. I think Yelena's probably the only other empowered person he regularly contacts.
But you know that Hild is going to be gathering the empowered people that are in the area.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I'll go just head to wherever. I'll probably meet up Yelena at whatever is the nearest airport in Charlotte, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then
All right.
We
go now to Charlotte.
Can I do a lore check or some sort of? I guess it would be just a lore, right? Or a history or something of what this area or anything I can find out about the information that Hill gave me.
Sure. Yeah. You can do a lore check for that.
I also have a new aspect because I definitely prepared my sheet before we played. And it's cut off the arm is my high concept. So anything with the arm of St. George, I will use. I can use.
Fair enough.
Well, particularly to the destruction of
the
arm of St. George. But I will not be using this here because have I think a great in lore. Let me make sure. Yeah, I have a great in lore, and then I rolled 2, so superb, fantastic.
All right. So you know that Charlotte is home to a lot of banks and financial institutions. That's where its economy centers around a lot. And the Bank of Silene that this place belongs to is a foreign bank. It's from Libya. There are a lot of places around that area that are just sort of buildings that the different financial institutions involved in the area run their whatever projects, whether they be above board or below board, in that area. So it is.
Would this be a bank that Halfdor has potentially used for Odin's computers?
Um, Maybe that depends. I don't know how you feel, how Half4 feels about Libya. Right now, the U.S. has not yet cut off economic ties to it, which is why they still have a building here. But
Okay,
there is a lot of conflict between Libya and
got
the
it.
U.S.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have, but he's familiar with this kind of organization, obviously. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. A giant money laundering scheme.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. All right, we go to Charlotte. The team arrives and gather at a hotel near the building. Hurt's there. He'll He'll be helping by coordinating people from a van through radios. There's Loki, who will be infiltrating the building by taking the place of a worker. There's Phillimore, who will be on a nearby rooftop, watching over the team and looking out for any enemy agents coming to reinforce or trying to run away. There's Dionysus, who will be in reserve to provide distraction should we need it. There's Yelena, ready to provide medical attention to anyone who needs it, be they part of the team or someone held in the building. And there's Pagan, ready to come in with maximum force if necessary. With half Thor, this makes a team of most of the empowered people in the eastern US. Everyone's eating Chinese takeout in the hotel room while Hurt distributes radio equipment and makes sure everyone knows their roles. And basically, it's like this: the janitor of the building has been temporarily incapacitated, and Loki has his badge and keys. He goes in as the janitor and lets in Pagan and Half Thor, who will approach the building casually from different directions. Once in, if things go well, the three of them will proceed to the fourth floor, where they will extract information and hopefully Anoush by whatever means are most appropriate. If things do not go well, Dio, Yelena, and Phillimore are standing by to handle that in whatever ways are needed. Now, gentle viewers, although I think metagaming gets a worse rap than it deserves, we come to a part of our story where our players will have to be careful about it. See, our players all know that this is probably some kind of trap, because they know that Phillimore is a traitor working with the arm of St. George. But with the exception of Anoush, who is currently in a drugged sleep, none of the characters know this, because Phillimore has been, to all appearances, a steady ally for many centuries, long enough to quell a lot of doubts. So our PCs will be walking into something that out of game they know is not going to go well. Wish them luck.
To be
Everything's gonna be
clear,
fine.
canonically, Halfdor has never liked Fillmore, and in fact, the last words he said to him were "bitch"
It's true.
in his head.
You did say that.
And Yelena most recently got drunk and snooped through his home 20-some years ago. But anyway.
I know. He
Probably
doesn't
because
trust any of
Halfdor
you
never
people.
trusted him.
It's all good.
Okay. I think before the mission starts, Halfdor have a moment with Garrett.
Excellent.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hurrit is looking nervous, and he gets more nervous when you approach him.
Can Yelena make a empathy roll just from a look from across the room,
Sure.
please? Beautiful. That is a great. Is it a good talk that's going to be happening so she can give a reassuring nod to her it, or a
What did you get?
I got a great.
I also got a great on deceive, so I believe meets it beats it, and I don't think you get a good read on your husband in his probably still in his like gear, because he has to say where the CIA director's going, right? So he's probably at the MCU you know, disguise of a hat and a some sort of Eisenhower jacket, because that's all you need to be a different person, right?
Right.
So, but I don't think you could really read it. He's still got the prosthetics and stuff. And maybe that time we've spent apart has led to a loss in some of those smaller cues. Hathor walks up and he kind of says, not loudly, like not performatively loudly, but loud enough for people to hear. It says, "You got a good plan. I think we can, if we execute this, should work fine."
Yeah. Do you wanna do empathy for that?
Sure.
To see what his reaction.
You get a +1 from your wife.
Okay, I'm rolling so hot right now. This is crazy. Watch, it's gonna all go to shit when the
Why
rolls
did you
actually start
say
mattering.
that out loud
I
right
know.
before we have to go into
Good.
a trap?
I rolled a good.
Good. With the good, you can tell that he is touched and holding back a lot of emotion.
Do you have
But
a
he
second to
just
speak
said-
outside?
Thanks.
Do you have a second to speak
Yeah,
privately?
let's yeah. And he takes you aside.
Look, I know things have been unideal. I don't want to hang it over your head, because we've all made terrible mistakes.
Not as terrible as mine.
Well, yeah. But you got to learn from it.
That's what I'm
If you
trying
want
to do.
we can never make up for what happened, right? And I think one, it's important to remember that you thought you were doing the best. Give me 1 second. You thought you were doing your best, and that's important. I think secondly, I think you can't ever erase what happened, but maybe you can do just as much good in the world. So the next time, don't listen to the old man from Mesopotamia. And listen to your war consigliere. All right? You got to trust yourself more this time, because I think we're headed into another conflict. Maybe not on the same world stage, but for us, that's devastating.
Yeah.
If they're striking out in the open now, they want Anoush for a reason, and it's not a good one. We're coming to the precipice. You need to be ready, because if you're not ready, none of them are ready. And he offers a handout.
He looks at it for a second before reaching out his hand and taking it.
And then Hathor brings him in close and grabs behind his neck. And says, "It's gonna be all right." And lets him go and walks in the door.
Yelena's been pacing, just quietly. Sees no blood.
And then Hathor goes back, sits down, and opens up a small dossier. Because work never stops.
Never stops. All right. It begins. Start moving. Loki goes in, and Pagan starts towards the building from one direction, and Thor, you start from a completely different direction so that it doesn't look like you're coming together. Just casually strolling to where Loki will be waiting to let you in at the back entrance. And as you are going around the side of the building, Thor, you're going to need to roll notice.
Because of Yelena's abilities, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody going in would have had a +1 to either notice or I think she probably feels physique is important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 1 use +1 to notice for Hathor right now.
Okay.
I guess I will use that. Sure, I'll use that for to raise it up to a good.
Good. Okay. All right. So a good is not enough to give you time to react to pull up your mental force fields. So you're going to be resisting this roll with just an athletics roll to try to dodge as you hear the shot.
Okay. Athletics?
So go ahead and make an athletic. Oh my, yeah. Okay.
Superb.
You know it's good when the GM says, "Oh my."
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for somebody. So, to describe what happens with this 6 shift difference. I believe that takes Thor out of physical stress and consequences.
6?
Yes.
Let me make sure. I think so. But he has extra from some sort of no. Well, physical stress. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Mental stress he does not. He has 4.
So what happens is there is the sound of a shot. Thor, you feel a tremendous pain in your hip, and you go down. Your vision blurs, and you roll onto your back. You look up, and through a haze, you can see Philomore looking down at you with a pistol in his hand. And he says, "Bitch." And then everybody else gets to roll notice to hear that shot.
So I'm like incapacitated?
Yeah.
That's how it
Taken
works?
out. So you're not dead or anything, but you cannot make an action at the moment.
I got a
Superb.
great.
I heard great. I heard superb. Okay. And I'm going to roll also for Hurrit, who has intuition and rolled really well. Okay. Okay, so there is a sound that you hear from the van, and Hurrit's eyes shoot open, and he yells at something incomprehensible and jumps out of the van.
That women's intuition, a rock has sunk to the bottom of her stomach and she's running.
Yeah, Dio. Just God, this is why I don't do this. All right, and he just jumps out as well and runs after.
Okay. Hafthor, you are bleeding out, but the moment before you are shot in the head, the sound of your compatriots running to save you gets to Philomore's ears, and he curses and runs off into the shadows.
Are we in an industrial area?
Yes.
Fuck.
Are there any witnesses?
Is there any what?
Witnesses?
You don't see any.
Okay.
Did we get there? I'm assuming we didn't get there fast enough to see him run.
You get there fast enough to. I mean, you could make. Nah, let's not make it a roll. You get there fast enough to see someone running off, but you're not sure who it is. But you also see Hafthor lying in blood, pooling on the ground.
I would like to provide some medical care, please.
Absolutely.
That's using lore, correct?
Yes.
All right. We're also going to tap Witch and her warrior as well, so that goes from 2 an epic.
All right. You stabilize your husband. The blood stops flowing, but you're going to need to get him to a hospital soon. Hurrit is calling in an evac.
Am I conscious?
Yes, you're conscious enough to speak now if you wish.
Don't take me to a hospital.
Right.
And
right.
he gives you a number to call in your mind, because he probably can't really speak that well right now.
Yeah.
And so you see the image of like a list of black sites and like contacts in different areas. And there's just like medical attention, and I don't know, I guess I could roll. Let's see how close the nearest one is. Not very close. I think the closest will probably be in like Georgia, which is like a good hour and some change away.
Yelena, you are pretty sure that you can keep him alive long enough to get him to Georgia.
Well, this is a hospital that we're at, correct?
Yes, there is a medical facility in there.
Wonderful. I'm dragging him inside.
Don't take me to the hospital! That's all I keep saying.
This isn't a real hospital, mate.
This is a black site hospital for the arm of St. George, as far as we're aware. If anybody gets in her way that are about to get... Not gonna have a very nice day, all I gotta say.
All right.
But she's gone like full cold professional mode. Like it's zero in on the task at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll get... Who somebody went into the building with Hafthor.
Loki. No, they went separate ways.
Yeah, Pagan was coming from the other direction, and Loki's already in the building.
Okay, so she's signaling to Hurrit to carry Hafthor to the nearest hospital.
Can I feel my internal, like, an internal bleeding at all? Like any sort of vein or something nicked?
Can you heal it?
Can I feel it?
Oh, can you feel it?
Can I feel am I like bleeding actively?
Yes, you are bleeding actively.
I would like to use lore to close the wound and pinch it tight and hold it pinched to stop blood loss.
You've been bandaged enough. You're good. You're not going to die.
I'm holding myself together with my mind.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So you and Pagan, Pagan and Hurrit grab him together and grab him and take him into the building, which Loki is looking puzzled and saying, I don't get it. There's no one here. I haven't been up to the 4th floor yet, but down here it's empty.
Empty of people or empty of supplies? I need one, not the other.
It is empty of everything. It's as though there were never people in this building.
Jesus.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
getting the impression that this was.
Hathor spits out again. Don't take me to the hospital.
I'm getting the impression that this was a setup.
But we still haven't, like I said, we still haven't looked up there.
Well, go.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'll go with Loki.
All right. Loki and Dionysus take off upstairs to the 4th floor, where you find a small hospital room. There are other hospital rooms around it, but this one has stuff in it and the rest do not. There is also a computer room, and when I say computer room, I'm talking big
stat.
shelves
Yeah.
of computer equipment with a terminal. There is no one operating these things, but there are people in 2 hospital beds.
2?
Yeah, 2.
You don't know this. I imagine I have gotten a rundown. Well, Loki would know, but I've gotten a rundown on what Anoush, who we're trying to save, what he might look like. Does it appear to be this person that we've been hunting for?
Yes, one of them is definitely the Anoush that you've been told about. And he is laid on a hospital bed. His entire torso has been opened and is held open by clips and things, so you can see into his chest cavity.
Gross. Okay, what does the other person look like?
The other person is also asleep, just like a young Middle Eastern guy.
Right. Hey, Loki, could you go just check out that? I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. Like,
Sorry, just a moment. I would like all of our viewers to take note of the expression that just happened on David's face and how wonderful it was. Because David, I think, has just realized who the other person is. But go on. Keep going.
I 100% have a very good idea of who that other person is. And Dionysus has feelings. So, is it something that Dionysus has feelings about, Sarah?
It might be.
Great. Dionysus goes, no, and goes over to Anoush and starts like unplugging. Like he's like, he's got enough of experience with like maybe some medical shit involving overdosing, things like that, to start like. He also knows about Anoush's powers, so he's going through and like unplugging from a drug supply. Like, okay, friend. All right. God, what a fuck. This is why I don't fucking do this. This is why I didn't want to be here, but okay, I'll help out. Ooh, fucking, okay, great. So, yeah, bitching the whole time, but unplugging everything.
Marvelous. You do that. Loki is at the same time doing it for the other patient. But I do need you to roll a notice roll for me, because there's something else going on here that we
+1.
I already used it. I used the +1. It's a one-time use. I used it for the other notice.
Oh, fair.
I mean, unless you gave me a hex, yeah, you're distracted with your husband. You didn't give me a bless.
I'm busy.
It's a good.
That is actually exactly enough to notice the timers on the small machines on the computers.
Okay. Motherfucker.
He notices that and goes, hey Loki, go faster, and also we need to run very fast. There's a bomb. This is going to explode.
A bomb? Okay, let's
There's a
go.
bomb. There's a bomb. There's a bomb. There's a bomb. There's a bomb. He like completely like he like wraps Anoush up in the blanket. He's like, I don't want intestines on me. Like I'm good. I just got this cleaned. But he definitely like once Anoush is done and wrapped up, like swaddled, he fireman carries this dude. Like he's like, let's go. He's like, fuck it, let's go. I'm small but mighty. Come on.
In the
Absolutely.
meantime, could I have given Halfthor a +1 to physique and hope if that increases their physical stress boxes or not? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't increase the stress boxes, but we'll say it has an effect.
Great. And then I'm assuming we're hearing a ruckus coming from downstairs rather quickly with people yelling, "Run!"
Yeah. The door opens from the 4th floor, and
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Fuck. Yeah, that makes fucking sense. All right.
Don't go into the hospital.
Okay. It's okay, honey. We're going to try not to blow up first, and then we'll talk about not going to the hospital.
excellent. So it's just an athletics roll for everybody to get out in time. It's okay.
Is that a
All you
disadvantage?
need is a fair.
Can I roll a will roll to help everybody out?
Absolutely, you can.
Can we
It's a
get
good roll.
help from the other
a
unconscious
really good
person?
roll.
Maybe a miracle, perhaps?
A miracle. Only if we get to a body of water, then we can run across it.
Hey, listen, there's blood. Are we all white? Are we all wasted?
I don't know. What's a superb +3? That's what I got.
A lot.
Her plus
A miracle.
3 is
Legendary.
Legendary. Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Excellent. What did everyone else get on their little rolls?
I got a fair. So
Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about a mediocre?
Okay.
the heels. She can't run in those heels. Why'd you wear
I
heels?
would like to use my will to carry me and Yelena then, as I feel her falter carrying my dead weight. I kind of just scoop us up, and I try to do it to where I think with the legendary I could get away with this. I try to do it where it feels like Yelena thinks she's just running as fast as she's ever
knows.
ran. For a second, for like 1 second, is like, oh, I'm carrying. Oh, this son of a bitch.
She's got mom strength. She thinks she's having one of those situations where like
Yeah.
moms lift cars off.
Lift
of
a
babies.
car, and then there's
What'd I
just like
do?
a small little like a smirk on Halfthor's face, and Yelena knows.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So with 3 bodies carried between y'all, you get out before the building goes up, and boy, does it go up. And you get into the van, and Hertz at the wheel and driving already, and he says, "Where? I can direct us to the nearest medical facility that's not gonna blow up, but I need to know if that's where I should be going."
I know that Halfthor has a place that has been put. Eli knows that Halfthor has had a place that's put into whatever. Can I check Dio's contacts to see if he knows? Because he knows plenty of shady shit. So
Yeah, for sure.
okay.
Can I assist with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that assist, that is a superb.
Okay. So you know of a place nearby that is not super close. It's not in Charlotte proper, but it is closer than Halfthor's location. It's probably about half an hour out.
It's in the state of North Carolina still. Probably. Yeah, so Dio just kind of leans forward and puts a comforting hand on Hurrit's shoulder, as in a way, no one needs to roll this, in a way of like, so Yelena, you would see this of like familiarity and comfort, which might be surprising to you because you've never heard of this person before. And he whispers, he goes, "Go here. It's good. Go here. You got this."
Before we get to anywhere, Haftor would like to pitch an idea to the group.
Is it not to take you to a hospital?
Yes.
Because we heard that one already.
Specifically, to take me to somewhere like a different bank or somewhere where there's CCTV, and to have people in like ski masks come scoop them up and take them in one of these vans so that the CIA director can die.
You're setting up your okay.
Okay. Dionysus will happily do that for you. He knows plenty of criminals.
Exactly. So he's like, you can just be you guys. It doesn't matter. I will obfuscate your faces for the witnesses around. I don't give a shit. But I've been planning my exit and I need to fucking die. Don't waste an opportunity.
Hopping between the three, like monitoring the unconscious man who looks very suspiciously, potentially familiar. Like his vitals, and then repacking Anoush's organs into a semblance of order.
Haftor's saying as he's like half awake, like, just cut his head off and let him regrow. It'll be easier.
It takes so much longer that way.
Good.
Is this the first time Haftor and Anoush have been in the same room for hundreds of years?
Hundreds of years.
Wild.
Yes, both dying. Because of Fillmore. That son of a bitch. We got taken out by a B-level bad guy.
Do you finally say that it was Fillmore?
No, he has not said that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Haftor, after pitches his plan, says never waste a crisis.
Fair.
It's a CIA axiom.
So you get to a shady-ass medical center. It's an emergency room for profit on the outside, but on the inside, it's a lot of shady shit going on. And you get there, and you introduce yourself in whatever shady way that will get you in.
Yelena's hopping into the first person who gets in their way's mind and like mentally turning them away. Like, get out of my way. I'm busy.
I'm busy.
Dio is handing money. Like, Dio's like, what are you doing? Like, he's just paying people. He's like, go.
Money. Okay, so you get there. You get it settled into a room. They start hooking people up. Anoush is already healing, and Anoush, you are starting to come to again. And the other guy is starting to come to as well. So everybody is waking up. What you gonna do? Somebody?
Dio,
is Hurt in the room? Did you say?
Is everyone in the room?
Is Hurt in the room?
In fact,
even if he's not, I guess if he's nearby, I can tell where he is.
We got the beeps again.
Haftor sends a message into Yelena. He wouldn't know Dio, so he wouldn't trust him. Yelena hear it, and I think that's it, actually. And shows the image of Fillmore. And says, if there's one, there's two. We have rats on the ship.
It's met with silence. She's still busy trying to get things stabilized, staunch the bleeding. But you feel a furious rage burning in this woman. akin to something you probably never have felt before. And it's not only a rage towards what has happened to you, it is a rage towards what has happened to the people that they lost 200 years ago, and all of the betrayal that they have felt, and a guilt that burbles up as well.
The next thing I think he would show immediately was Hild and say, make sure she's safe.
She just shoots a quick, panicked look at Hurrit.
Hurrit, is getting on the hospital phone and calling. And so he...
And then I think Halfdor kind of just decides to go to sleep.
Yeah, he reaches
opens
Hild,
up the opium check valve that's only supposed to let it drip. It gets a little extra in there.
I need your heart rate at a proper level, but okay.
That's not my problem to fix. I'm passing out.
So Hild comes onto the speakerphone and says, what happened? What's going on?
Get somewhere safe now.
All right.
It was Fillmore.
Silence, just the beeping of the heart monitors. Fuck. Okay. I think we need to go to Libya.
Okay.
Some of us, anyway.
Hild and Yelena have grown rather close over the last couple of centuries, and occasionally they have gone on solo trips together. So there's a spot just in the northern part of Florida that is owned by Yelena, and she says, go to the cottage as quickly as you can and go to the cellar. We'll meet you there.
Find me there. She hangs up.
I would also say that any of the VIP people from the empowered people have multiple passports and stuff and identities they can assume very easily that are not even forgeries. They're legitly entered into. You know why there's so many 150-year-olds in the Social Security system? Because of Halfdor.
Yelena looks at Dio, whom she's had maybe 5 words together with, and says, thank you so much for helping us. And then kind of just shifts focus over, Halfdor's been stabilized, I hope. Shifts focus over to Anoush to check in on him, checking vitals to see if things are healing quickly or not. Again, looking at, she's just jumping between people. Outwardly cold is probably what people are getting from her. She's gone surgeon mode.
Dio nods at that. Up until now has had a level of, he's very laissez-faire and very oh, it's fine, whatever. He has an image that has dropped pretty substantially at the mention of Fillmore, just because he's okay, that sucks. But he looks at Hurrit and goes, he would have been involved with the
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
I think that's obvious now.
Okay. Dio goes over to the other person's bed, the unknown person, and sits kind of on the edge, looking him over. Are they awake? Are
Yeah,
they have
his eyes are sort of flickering, and he's not really focusing very well, but he manages to focus on you a little bit.
do I recognize, like, now that I'm sitting down and like out of the adrenaline is going, do I recognize this like, I feel like I might have, if it's who I think it is, I might have met this person once.
You have not, to your knowledge, met this person.
Okay.
Just a ordinary looking, kind of goofy looking young guy.
Okay. Okay. You with us?
Oh, you're not the same. Who are you new?
I I am new. We just kind of just you got moved. You got moved to a new facility. What's your name?
Josh.
Joshua. Sorry.
Josh. Okay. Great. Well, hey, Josh, my name is Theo, and you're safe now. You're about to not have a lot of drugs pumped into your system unless that's what you like.
Wait, so I'm, and he like tests and is no longer strapped down, and it was like, oh,
Yeah.
I've been rescued. I didn't, it was, yeah.
Can you tell us what happened? Do you remember when you were taken? What happened?
I was in, uh, near Calcutta, mm, just sort of minding my own business, um, and someone bagged me, like literally a bag over my head, and the next thing I knew, I was strapped down in a bed, and they've been giving me drugs and making me feel weird.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
So sorry. Do you happen to know how long you've been? What is the last date you remember it being?
Sometime, I guess it was back in January.
Of what year?
85?
Perfect. Thank you.
Have I been gone for a long time? Is this the future?
Well, any moment can be considered the future, I think, depending on
That is true.
where you're coming from. No, it's been a few months.
Right.
And I hate to tell you this, but you're now in North Carolina.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is so much worse. That might be the worst thing you've heard today.
It's all right. Who are you?
We're here to help. Hey, listen, you're not going to remember any of our names, but I'm Theo, and we're all helpful. We're all. Hey, do you want some water? Let me get you some water. Like, Theo just goes and gets stuff.
You can call me Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome. She hurries about to, I don't know, flush IVs with saline solution, and she's busying herself again, checking in to see if Anoush is rousing or not. She's a flurry of action.
Anoush, you're starting to come to consciousness.
I think Anoush has woken up a while ago, and is closing his eyes because the last thing he heard was there's going to be a chance to get out, and he's just trying to assess the situation before he opens his eyes and lets anybody like know his situation. Is how long do you think it would take for him to just like completely regain his faculty? Or is there a roll I could do to accelerate my healing?
You could spend a fate point to accelerate your healing.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you concentrate your will upon your body and force it to mend itself faster than usual. So we're going to say that it's going to take you down to a minor consequence of exhausted or something like that.
Okay.
And you're able to clear your mind.
Oh, good. Just focuses on the blood pumping through his body, flexes his legs slowly, hoping nobody notices. And when no one's looking, I think he's going to try to get out of bed.
Okay. Someone, at one point you think no one is looking. There's someone looking.
Yes, of course.
And you start to sit up. Everybody, Anoush is sitting up.
I'm glad that didn't take that long. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's been How are you feeling?
Anoush is silent and looks from Helena to Halfthor unconscious in a bed, to this other person
with
who he doesn't
full
know.
Prosthetics, by the way. Halfthor, still prosthetics.
Oh, so Yelena and three people that Anoush does not know. And I think he looks scared, like too scared to even address you.
I think
Yeah.
Anoush would recognize the prosthetic CIA director when 20 years prior or whatever, Anoush had disguised himself as an astronaut, and suddenly a government official in a suit came up and silently said, "Don't fuck this up," and then pushed into his brain a mental image of a rocket exploding because somebody tried to mess with like one screw.
Well, don't worry. At this point, Anoush has flown to the moon and back, so everything's fine.
Are Pagan and Loki there too, though? And Hurrit? There's a couple people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So these familiar faces, but still is like looking around. There is this want to say something, but also a very there's fear, like untrusting fear, and he starts to whisper under his breath, Loki, Cuchulainn, Ida, Halfthor, Hild, Fillmore, over and over again.
That's ominous because she doesn't know what you mean by that. She's going to use the gift of the Morrigan and slip into Anoush's mind. It's not the same sort of. It doesn't feel the same as when Halfthor would do so. I have to roll a rapport.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, can I give a help? Because I'm really good at rapport, but...
With my pheromone ability, that's a great.
Okay.
She's just trying to calm you and give a feeling of safety, but also because you said something that's made her worry now. She can't tell if you're saying that these people are a threat or have been threatened. And she'll slip her hand. Anoush like taught her for many, many years. And part of that would likely have been, the negatives and positives of, various different sciences. So with her thumb, she's going to trace a symbol that is Aramaic in nature for positive or like negative. And you would understand it. Is she's like, are these people in danger or are they okay as far as you're aware?
He's gonna say the names, and the moment he feels his like emotional state change, your name gets added to the list.
Okay.
And he backs away
Helpful
from
as
you
ever.
and looks to Pagan and runs like over to him and grabs his hand. And he says, "Can we talk? Far, alone."
Okay.
Of course, love. Yeah. We'll talk. And he nods to you guys to reassure you that they're not going away, and takes Anoush into the next room.
And there is a language that Pagan and Anoush made up a long time ago to protect themselves from any sort of intrusion. And he says to Pagan, shaking, but Pagan would know that his mind is racing and trying to connect possibilities and calculate statistics. I saw Fillmore before I was abducted, but there are 6 other people that could have been. I do not believe a lot of them would have charge to abduct me in this way, nor do I. He takes a breath. I have to think about this objectively. We live in a strange world. I don't know who to trust anymore.
All right.
Main objective, Pagan, is they cut me open, and there are groups of them probably studying like I have for years. Any one of them could be selling our secrets or learning more than we ever could. How long have I been gone?
About 3 months.
3 months. Do you know who took me?
They left a trap for us and didn't leave any information. They blew it up.
Okay. You're saying they. I'm assuming you don't know who's involved.
I mean, we know that Fillmore was involved.
Are you sure? It was him.
That's what they say, and it does seem like he must have been the one to shoot Hathor.
Hathor told you this?
Yeah, right.
I think it is under our best influence to trust the people that we trust. And if this is the course, Fillmore. Okay. Okay. Just be cautious.
All right. So, yeah. Pagan takes your hand, Anoush, very solidly, and you feel the comfort not only of the hand of the man who loves you, but also the power that flows into you from his touch that makes you feel more, well, physically safe. Um, and so that sort of helps with the coming back from the
I
brink.
float just a little bit off the ground.
Whee! So, are you ready to go back?
Yes. I think I'm coming down. Man, oh man. What a day.
Missed you.
Oh, I missed you too. I'm just gonna put my head in his chest, his big burly
Yeah,
chest.
big old chest. He leads you back into the room. So y'all see them coming in, and Josh is looking around, and he's like, "So, can I go?"
No.
Nope.
No.
Yelena's injected something to wake Hathor up into his IV because it's time to talk and then time to move.
Hathor wakes up, immediately goes into Josh's head. And I want to pull... Or tries. And wants to pull the, most recent memory. Essentially wants to Rolodex back, right? I would imagine Hathor's gotten a mastery of this over almost 1,000 years now, right? And is able to sort of, spin quickly. When you're, rolling through photos online, and then you're like, oh, stop, right? So he's doing that with Josh's memory to the point of where he got abducted.
Okay. So you start rolling back from the moment, and you get a lot of sort of blurry images of the hospital.
A lot of anesthesia-induced fucked up shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna store that away as well to comb through later.
A lot of injections, and it comes back, and the last memory before the fuzziness is him out in a city street. There are so many people around him. It's clearly they're Desi folk, so it's probably India or Pakistan or somewhere around there. And he's sort of just sitting with some people who are not well, they're like lepers and injured people and stuff like that, and he's just talking with them, and then someone puts a bag over his head, and there's a lot of screaming, and then he's gone.
Okay, the next thing I would like to look at is this person's personal identifiers. Their where they store their identity in their brain.
Yes, he's still he thinks of himself as Josh. That's his name in his head. But he still holds on to his original name too, of Yeshua ben Yosef.
Suddenly in the room you hear Hathor say, "Jesus fucking Christ." And I think there's probably a minute of silence because Hathor's probably still a little fuzzy from uppers and downers in his brain at the same time.
Yeah.
And he says they're trying to study the immortality. I would bet they wanted I bet our friend Josh here has similar abilities to evade death, certain diseases, maybe extreme ones. You spend a lot of time with lepers and others with severe diseases that usually end with 100% mortality rates.
At this point, Josh is looking very nervous.
Well, it would appear you're amongst family. My name is
Sorry.
not...
Oh, I don't know if we're family. I haven't been a practicing Christian for about 800 years, so...
Hey, bud, I know you've had a really bad evening,
Who the
but
fuck
do
is this
everyone
guy?
a favor
Okay.
and shut the fuck up.
Who's
Okay.
this guy?
You know who I
Anoush is
am.
gonna go over to Josh and just put his hand on him, not trying to like take his powers, but do something that I don't think a lot of people here who know him well or have known him for decades, millennia almost, have seen him do, and just ask him if he's okay and try to comfort him.
Yeah, I guess I'm okay, but also I'm feeling very confused. And who are you?
Yeah, I was getting to that before. My name is not Jen. My name is Yelena. And much like yourself, I've been gifted things from a starfall. And she will, like, there's like flowers in the corner of the room in a vase, and they start to grow and bloom and become abundant. You were taken for a very specific reason, and I'm very sorry about that. But we need to get somewhere safe and more secure. So if you can bear with us, we will explain as much as we can, but we need to move.
I have to know more, so I'm not going anywhere. Let's stay together. Yes.
I think we all need to go somewhere else.
Yes.
But while that was happening, in Hurrit's head, Halfthor would have put into his mind like what he saw with the, and like just the quick snippets of like, clearly this guy's been tested on for months, right? Truly the whole time he's been gone. And so and he says in his mind, we're closer to the precipice than I even thought. Religious zealotry is dangerous, but when you unmoor religious zealotry from any moral obligations, and kind of in that way shows like, right, you have this like arm of Saint George, right, who supposedly is there to like restore this like order of Christianity and of like a God and all that, right? And if you unmoor that from the like practical terms of like objective morality, and you make it now a cultural or like a ideological battle, the soldiers in that become infinitely more violent and unmoored from any sort of good, and it essentially puts like a timer on the clock, right? Like, it's a matter of it's a matter of when and not if anymore. There's going to be something big happening, and we need to find out what they learned.
All right. We need to get out of here. We need to get moving.
We're going to be meeting up with a friend of ours that needed to get somewhere safe quickly. And then we're going on a trip, I think.
Gotta go back.
I'm a little confused. We do have to. I think I agree with Hathor. They let us go.
Okay. You know what? It's not... You know this world better than I do. If this is what you want to do, you want to go back and investigate the blown to hell building, fine.
Oh, I meant to the island.
I
I
did
thought
as
that's where
well.
we were gonna take a trip to the Turners.
We need to get to Hild, and then as per Hild, we need to get out of here, because this isn't a secure place. This is just a civilian.
Yeah. I agree.
This is a civilian
This is-
hospital.
This
so
is
if we
about.
can,
This is not a civilian hospital, but this is definitely not a place we want to stay for long. So listen to the very intelligent woman, and let's take it one step at a time. Let's go.
yeah, if we could be on the road, fast forward montage, that'd be great.
Excellent.
Okay, step out of the hospital. One complete. Where are we
Yep.
going? After we meet
We're
Hild?
going
To the cottage.
To a-
We're going to northern Florida.
Yeah. Don't ask the Canadian about places. I picked a direction and a state that I knew.
Guys, we're going to a
going to
really
Hild.
great place in St. Augustine. It's beautiful. It's
Beautiful.
a great beach. It's wonderful. If the CIA director is supposedly dead now, Dio is perfectly fine using his contacts to get. He's got a private jet. Like, dude is fine. So he uses his vast network of travel of everything to get everybody where we need to be.
Excellent. All right. So you make your way through to the safe house that Yelena has in northern Florida, where Hild is waiting for you. And when you get there, she is there and safe. Hooray! And you get settled in for just a minute, so that you can start to talk about what is the next step, and then something happens. Anoush, the ghost of Evansina, appears before you.
Ah!
Hi.
Sorry. Hello.
This is in front of everyone. Everyone sees the ghost.
Oh shit! Is he see-through?
It
Is he
is
see-through?
a vaguely transparent, withered-looking old man of Persian descent.
The fuck? What the fuck is happening?
I must say, everyone, I didn't. You're here.
Yes, I am here, and we have a lot to talk about.
In Yelena's mind, you just hear Hathor say, I did not miss this.
Agreement.
What possibly could? What? How? I didn't think this could get more complicated, I must say. Holy gee, guys.
Yeah, I guess we gotta stop using Josh's name in vain around him.
Oh, well,
Hey, how freaked
I
out
might
has
not.
Josh been the whole time? Like, has he seemed like these people are insane? Or
Josh has been he's clearly trying to be chill, but every inch of him is listening and watching and trying to get more information.
is there any indicator that he has any memory whatsoever of any kind of starfall? He wouldn't, but
No.
no. Any kind of yep.
Okay. What's this ghost man saying?
Well, you know when it happened.
Hello. So I'm glad to have caught all of you. Good, this is working. Everyone, my name is Anoush Ghazali, and we have a lot to talk about.
Excuse me?
And that's where we'll end our session tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
I cry.
We'll see you next Tuesday. If you're not already in our Discord, come join us. Till then, bye.
Oh my God, Anoush's
No,
future
you fuck
powers.
off. Just Jesus, fuck off. God damn it! There was never ghosts.
No, it was just you being annoying. Great.
Time to